Hi, everybody. We're back with the Suspense Squad, and tonight is topic night. And our topic for tonight is we are going to share with you some of the scenes we have written for our heroes and our heroines and how we have put them in dangerous situations and their lives are in peril. So we want to share some of those suspenseful scenes with you. We hope you'll enjoy it. Maybe stimulate some ideas for some of your stories as well. So we will start with the fantastic Sammy Abrams.
All right. So in one of my stories, I have the hero and heroine driving down a two-lane road. The brakes go out on the truck, and there is a deer carcass in the middle of the road. And since the hero can't slow down, he's trying to skirt around it, and they end up shooting off into a fast-moving river, and they're trying to get out of the truck before the truck sinks and get to the riverbed or the riverbank before the hero and heroine get carried down the river and drowned.
And what book is this in?
This is one that I'm hoping will get picked up.
Okay. All right. Did they get out?
Yes, they did. Okay. I mean, hello.
Spoiler alert.
Hero and heroine, they're gonna get out.
It would be a very short book otherwise.
True.
It would be.
True.
Gotta have that happily ever after. Or that would not be it.
Happily ever after. All right, Virginia.
Oh, it would be for the villain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
True.
All right, Virginia Vaughn, share one of yours.
Well, one of my favorite scenes is in my book, Killer Insight.
Yes,
it's the last book in my Covert Operatives series. And my heroine is an FBI agent who is not making some really good decisions because she's out at night running. She gets off into a part of town that, there's no lights. She's running in the dark. She's like, I better get back because she's in town to catch a serial killer. And here she is just running all over the place.
For a jog.
Yeah, you got to go for a jog, work out those kinks in her, from the airplane ride. And of course, the serial killer pulls up beside her, attacks her, throws her into the trunk of his car, tries to drug her, but she manages to knock the syringe out of his hand. So he ends up just knocking her out, shoving her in the trunk of his car. Thankfully, she escapes. But that's one of my favorite scenes that I've written. And that's right at the beginning. That's right at the start of that story. So
read that story, and I actually really loved that scene. It was very well written. Yeah, very, very good.
It was a fun scene to write.
Although I am surprised she went jogging in the middle of the night when she was there to catch a serial killer. That did surprise me, but it was a great scene. Yeah.
That wasn't a smart move.
No, absolutely not. Okay, Patty.
Okay, well, I am writing a book that I'm also hoping will be picked up, but one of my favorite scenes I've written so far is it's an ambush scene. My hero and heroine have just landed and they're in a limo heading to an airport or to their hotel, and a car comes up on one side and a car comes up on the other side and starts shooting at them. And unbeknownst to my heroine, the hero has got weapons stashed all over on the inside of this limo, and so he starts pulling it out. And then she's also traveling with his mother, and his mother surprises her too and starts shooting out of the sunroof.
Granny starts shooting. It might be a little red flag if the love interest, if I was on a date with the man and he starts pulling out weapons and shooting at people, I might be a little concerned. All right, Darlene Turner.
Okay, so in my book 2 called Abducted in Alaska, my hero, Lake Jackson, has a fear of being buried alive. So he's at this one place where they're trying to find this cave, and all of a sudden an avalanche starts. So him and the heroine run to the car and get in the car, but just a little bit after that, their car is dumped with a pile of snow. So they're underneath a whack of snow in a car and they have to escape. So that was a fun scene to write because it tapped into his fears, and he had to set the fears aside and move forward and try to get out. So I won't tell you what happens because you have to read the book.
And tell us the name of the book again.
Abducted in Alaska.
Abducted in Alaska. All right, that's a good one. Hope.
Okay, so this scene was in actually one of the first books that I wrote. The hero and heroine are on a horseback ride. They're both riding separate horses, and they're going through the woods, and a sniper starts shooting at them, and the heroine gets shot, and she falls off the horse. And then they have to get undercover, and then she's bleeding, and they have to make their way down the mountain, which was where they were when they got shot. They're trying to get down the mountain and get to some help and everything. So that, because I grew up with horses, and so I try to put horses, in my book somehow. And so that one was fun because she actually got shot off the horse.
Okay, Dana.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Well, there's a little bit of a story behind mine. The summer before I wrote Plain Refuge, my family and we went whitewater rafting. Now, I have a little bit of a fear of drowning, so it was kind of scary for me almost getting tipped out of the raft. We had a guided raft, but it was still kind of hair-raising. And I got out of that, and my first thought was, I got to put this in a book. So I was writing Plain Refuge, and my heroine, Sophie, has a fear of water, and they're being hunted, they're being chased, and Aiden says, we got to go into the water, of course, because isn't that what they always do? So they get into a raft. There's Sophie, her deaf 12-year-old sister, and their ex-Amish friend, Levi. They're all in a raft, and they're going down the rapids, and people are on the ridge shooting at them. And at one point, one of the men is shot, and so Sophie has to kind of conquer her fears a little bit, and I love that scene.
I
that
do
was a
too.
good scene.
That was a great scene.
I'm not going to tell you how it ends.
That was a
I
really
used to
good
go whitewater rafting every summer with our youth group, and I loved it. Down the Nantahala River in North Carolina. So much fun. But I never was shot at. Never once. And I hope I never am.
Take the fun out of it.
Yeah. Just a wee bit. Yeah. All right. My scene is from my first book, Cave of Secrets. And it is a barn fire scene where the hero and heroine go in to put the horses are out. The big thunderstorm comes. They have to get the horses inside the barn, and they get the horses in the barn, and they shut the barn doors, and they're talking, and then someone locks them in the barn, and they start to smell smoke, and the barn gets set on fire. And it's about them trying to get out of that barn fire. So that was a fun one for me to write, because I loved writing the descriptions of the heat and what the glow of the embers, and the beams fell and all that kind of stuff. It was fun to write. So I kind of see it. But,
Fire scenes are fun to write.
they are fun to write. I really like them.
They
There's a
are.
lot of, because you can really see them in your head. That's a fun one to write.
Well, you can slow it down. It's not like you're being shot at and suddenly you're running. A fire scene, you can slow down what's happening. You have some time there to up the tension.
You do. Absolutely. All right. So those are just some ideas for you. We hope you enjoyed our topic tonight, and if you're a writer, keep those characters in danger all the way through till the very, very end. Have a great night.